What is up, everybody? Welcome to Video Game Music Alliance. This is the live composing show, and my name is Stephen Melin. I'm so glad you're here to join us today. So many new things are going on in my world right now, specifically in studio land here with different pieces of music gear that there's always something I'm testing out. And today is no exception. Today, I can't really show you a camera right now because I'm using all the cameras, but essentially I'm using, maybe I can show you right here if it'll let me stretch. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Look, guys, it's a Stream Deck. Finally invested in one of these suckers. I've been looking at these for a while, so I finally had a good reason to make the switch. As you can see, there's only a few buttons on here so far, but what's so cool about this is I can push the buttons like this, and I've set it up with all of my screens and everything that I could instantly flip like that. We can go to a coffee break, just like that. And that's super cool. Instead of having to do all these crazy key commands and like clicking different windows, oh my gosh, it's just life-changing. And so far, it's very blank. I literally just got it like an hour ago, trying to get it set up in time. But I got the basics so far, and the other key commands I have on here so far, they're actually macros. The macros I have on here so far are to open up Vienna Ensemble Pro, open up Nuendo, and then I also have a force quit, which I could do. Maybe I'll show you right before we end today, which is going to save me so much time. So those of you who have used Vienna Ensemble Pro or you've used Cubase/Nuendo, they take forever to close because they're trying to like unload all the instances and everything. And from what I can tell, there's no actual damage that happens when you force close them. I've been force closing them every day for years with no damage. Obviously, I save, then I force close, but now I have a button that just goes boop, kills them all, which is so nice. But anyway, so this now just sits right here, right in front of me, right within arm's distance. It's going to be so nice. And I also want to look into programming some of my favorite key commands that are not easy to do on this keyboard to put over there. Maybe some export functions, maybe some, I don't know, some importing or organization options. Either way, it's going to be incredible. So excited to get that thing just integrated into my workflow and my own little custom icons and everything. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the family. Thanks for subbing. Quick shout out to lots of friends who are hanging out with us today. We have Andre. I asked in the chat, let us know, what games are you playing this week? I'm currently finishing up Chrono Cross, the Nintendo Switch remaster, which is fantastic. And then I'll be starting Fire Emblem Engage. Very excited about that. I'd love to hear what you guys are not working on. I mean, sure, if you want to tell me what you're working on, that's cool too. Or what you're playing this week. Sounds like a lot of you are starting Sea of Stars, which is nice. That game at launch a couple of days ago already sold over 100,000 copies. That's bonkers for an indie game. That's so crazy and amazing. So excited for them. So what's up, Andre, Matt, King Zero, Ethan, Devin, Caleb, Sarah. Hello, friends. And there's more of you watching. So say hey. I also know that at some point today, we're going to have some of the Aethermancer team pop in. They're always so kind when they jump in here and give some feedback. So what are we doing today? Well, this is the live composing show where we write music together live. And I have my Nuendo session loaded up. And currently I'm working on a soundtrack for Aethermancer, which is the spiritual successor to Monster Sanctuary by Moirai Games. Hey, what's up, Anton? So Anton is from the Aethermancer team from Moirai Games. Still going to play Baldur's Gate 3 for the next month. So yeah, that just came out. And then Stargate comes out next week, I believe. We're very close to that. So there's a lot of good games coming out. Not so much my cup of tea, but I totally respect that. And I think that's wonderful. I've always been someone who, look at me. Maybe you can kind of see my hand right here. It is such a habit for me to use my mouse to click on my screens to change. But dang, all I have to do is this, guys. Oh, it's just so nice. It's so nice. And the best part is I don't have to leave my DIW, because if those of you who use DAWs a lot, you know that your key commands are bound to being inside the window. So the second I click to Google Chrome or to OBS or to VEP, all of a sudden my key commands don't work anymore. So this is so nice. It's going to take a little bit of a rerouting of my brain because I've been doing this for years. But anyway, so I'm really excited to just see what happens today, if things blow up or not. Did I say Stargate? I meant to say Starfield. Whoops. Oh, man. Hey, what's up, Robbo? Caleb Superior. This is going to be a fun stream today. So, yeah, I'm working on the Aethermancer soundtrack. It's a roguelike game. So if you've played Hades before, that's probably the closest recent title of that genre that you might know about. So it means that there's basically biomes or like levels. There's environments that you have multiple floors or maps back to back to back to back. You have your team of monsters in our game, and you're constantly fighting to level them up, but they only have a certain amount of health. And so it's a survival game to get as far as you can into the game, but then once you die, you restart. But your monsters have leveled up. They keep their levels. And so the whole point is to finally get to the end. That's right. I did say Stargate, Anton. Yes, it came out a long time ago. Not the same thing. For those unaware, Starfield is Bethesda's latest game. It's basically their spiritual successor to Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, all that. At least that's what I think. That's like 30,000 foot view. But anyway, I want to show you for just a minute. I had a bit of a field day last week. If you joined me on the stream, I showed off my new routing, my new audio. It's partially hardware, mostly software. My audio routing for how I write music now. And it all stems from Vienna Ensemble Pro. And now I have this fancy thing. I'm just going to go here, push the button. There it is. So Vienna Ensemble Pro is this screen over here. So currently I have a template that I built full of instances. And an instance is the official term for a series of plugins. So you could just have one instance and be totally fine with everything. But because I'm trying to allocate my resources among my 12 cores of my PC, I've set every one of these to be 2 each. It's not a perfectly even split, but it's pretty darn close. And so down here in the bottom right corner, you see how it's spazzing out. It's just telling me real time what the CPU usage is. So it's hovering around 10%, 12%, somewhere in there. And then each instance has its own little CPU usage monitor, and it's hovering around 10, 12%. So in total, VEP is only using about 12% of my system's resources, which is phenomenal to load this many instruments. This is something like 100 instruments, all active, all ready to go. So if I hit a note on my keyboard, it's going to play, which is just so fantastic. And so the way that this is routed inside my DAW here is it's a bunch of MIDI channels all connected to instances. So this one instrument patch right here called Vienna Ensemble Pro times 64. So it's a 64-bit plugin. Looks like this. And then you connect it to any one of these instances over here. And they show up in a little list. You pick them. And then I hit this beautiful button over here, which decouples the plugin from VEP. Right here, this is my button. When I click that button, what it's doing is it is telling VEP to operate as its own audio program. Meaning, when I close, if I were to just hit my new button, my new macro, and instantly shut down my DAW, all of my sample libraries would still be loaded and still be fine. Likewise, if I save my session, and there's an auto save that happens every 15 minutes and it creates a backup. Every time it does that, it's no longer going to take a minute of time, which you could lose a lot of creativity in 60 seconds if you do those auto saves. But what's happening now is, since everything's already loaded and is static, it doesn't need to be retrieved constantly. What it allows is my session to just kind of flawlessly operate with no additional CPU or memory issues. And so VEP is running at 12%, and it's just going to stay running at 12% forever until I close it. And so I'll close it at the end of the day, or I'll swap it out for different sessions, whatever. But I've been doing this for a couple weeks now with different sessions of different soundtracks and whatnots and very different styles. And it has worked so well. And I am kind of hitting myself for not doing this sooner. I'm shocked I didn't do this sooner. Because I've had Vienna Ensemble Pro for many years, probably 10 years. Back when it was VEP 5, I think. Now it's on 7. But here we are. You know what? Sometimes you just got to learn. I didn't need it until recently when all of my CPU was spiking at 100% on this session, mind you, on Aethermancer. And the real reason is I was hovering around 60-70% just running the session. And then as soon as I started live streaming, if you don't know, takes up a ton of CPU. It takes about 30 or 40% of my current setup. So when you add 70% plus 30, 40%, you spike. You go over 100, and something is going to be horribly degraded in the process. And so by rebuilding the whole session, what I was able to do is now, you can see up here, I'm running this session at 96 kilohertz, which is double the audio quality that I've been doing in past streams, and I'm running it at 32-bit float versus the traditional 24-bit. So what that means is I'm just getting way more headroom. So the mix is better, the audio quality is better, and ultimately everything's going to load faster and just be a wonderful experience for everyone. So there you go. That's my little spiel for the day. If you have more questions about VEP, I'd be happy to answer. If you want to comment in the live chat or specifically after this video is re-uploaded, if you'd like to comment in the YouTube comments, I do read all of them. So when I can, I answer those, and I'd be happy to help you figure out a setup for yourself, because this has plagued me for years. But the ultimate secret is what I learned from Alan Silvestri, which is using track archives. So at any point when I'm just riding along, I can hit a key command, minus Control T, and it loads up my favorite folder here, which I created, Nuendo track archives. And these are all the folders I've built so far. And I have something like 10 of these that I've made. They're pretty time consuming to make. It's been taking me 30 minutes to an hour to make each one. But essentially when I click on one of these, I can open it and I can select the instruments I want from it, usually all of them. And then when I hit OK, within usually 5 seconds, sometimes less, sometimes a little bit more, it will pop up a new instance of Vienna Ensemble Pro as one of these colors that I've already color coded. And so, for example, the one I just selected was this brass. And there it is. It's literally just one contact instrument loaded with all of the patches that I want to use. They're purged, so no data is being loaded. There's no memory. And it's just locked and ready to go. And then also imports all of the MIDI tracks that I've created inside of Nuendo. So that's my super long way of saying you really should look into this if you are someone who constantly uses the same libraries over and over again. This might just save you hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, because it's saving you a few minutes, maybe once an hour. So it starts to add up. And so my productivity, which was already pretty high, is skyrocketing even more. So all that to say, let's write some Aethermancer music today. We're working on a new track. Specifically, I have to force myself to not do key commands. Push the dang button, Steven. It's right there. Push the button. This is kind of nice. I can kind of just like relax. I don't have to constantly hover with my mouse and my keyboard. I'm curious, in the live chat, do any of you use a stream deck, whether it's for streaming or for productivity purposes? I'd love to know how you're using it, because maybe we could exchange ideas. Anyway, so today we're working on Aethermancer, and the new track today is called the Respite. And some info I got on this sucker is it's essentially a map that your character goes to after completing a certain portion of the game. I know that's super vague, but it's supposed to be. I don't want to spoil things. So imagine in Hades, for example, if you've played that roguelike, you get through one of the first biomes, right, which is like several maps back to back to back. Now you're super fatigued. You're running low on health, running low on resources. But throughout the run so far, you've collected gold, you've collected experience. And so now this is a map that doesn't have monsters. It's a safe zone that will have NPCs that you can shop from, that you can, I'm not sure entirely what's going to be there other than I'm sure you can, restore some health. You can maybe upgrade your skills or whatever. Things that are temporary to that run, you upgrade. And so that prepares you to then jump back in and go into another biome, to another area. So the idea of this spot, unlike all the other tracks in this game, this is probably one of the most important tracks to get right because it needs to be calm. It needs to be relaxing to the point where you should just be able to chill there for a long time because you're talking to NPCs, and it should feel safe. It's not going to feel like home necessarily, like the beginning of the game, but it is going to feel safe. So it needs to be the exact opposite of all these other big battle tracks we've been doing recently, which is nice. I think this is going to be a nice breath of fresh air to do something different today. So I really want to lean into a very calm sound. So one of the some of the references that I was given were Dark Souls bonfire theme, and maybe it would do us well just to listen for a moment. All right, so it's pretty calm. Let's pick on some other ones. This is from Dragon Age Origins, the camp theme. And the last one here is like some soft campfire D&D kind of music. All right, so I hear some common themes here. I hear strings, either lute or guitar. And I also hear a repeating chord progression that helps make us feel safe, which is usually a 4, 5, 6, maybe a 1/3 back to a 4. There's something about the chord progression that is very cyclical. And without spoiling any of the story of the game, there are a lot of thematic references to cycles or circles, repetition, kind of like the circle of life theme in Lion King, for example. So these cycles, since this is one of the tracks you're going to hear more than just about any others in the game, it's important, similar to a title screen, right? Or a pause menu. It needs to be something that is calm, but also feels a bit cyclical. So I also want to focus on keeping that vibe as well. So I have a couple ideas. I heard some harp in some. I'm hearing strings in all of them, so strings are going to be the best. I'm also hearing it's relaxing, not sad. It's calm, not frantic. So somewhere in that lane, I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're aiming for here today. So it needs to feel a bit ambient. Before the stream, I put open some guitar and vocal synth patches just to maybe add something different to the mix today. Here's one that I pulled open. This is from my VGM database. This is the patch used for Super Mario Sunshine. What a cool sound. Something about that. I don't think I want to add a fireplace or like a campfire ambience. But now that I'm thinking about, that might actually be a good idea. And I can ask right now, because the developer's with us, would you like to have a campfire sound baked into there? I don't know. It might be nice just to deliver it with and without. So let me do that for a moment. I'll show you one of my secrets. It's called freesound.org. It's a lovely, lovely place that I highly recommend any of you as composers or sound designers you use if you wish. So over here, oh yeah, I don't have to click stuff. I can just go bam. So over here, I'm going to type in campfire. And I want to specifically use Creative Commons because that means you don't have to pay for it and you don't have to credit it. And then let's just listen. I want to find anything that's not grainy or like overly compressed or whatever. I need something more in the mid-range. Some of these are really bad. That's pretty good. Let's keep looking. Okay, that's the best one so far. Let's grab that one. I'm sure I have in my databases. I'm sure I have something. Oh, man. But this is usually what I end up doing. See, some of these are just awful.
Great Western.
All right, I'll try a couple more and then we'll just be done. Now we're just getting into weird territory. All right, cool. Let's just do that. So over here, let us grab. Let's do this. It's so nice to have multiple screen options now. I'm going to rename this. You can't see what I'm doing, but that's fine. Protecting the innocent here. So this is going to be the campfire sound effect. I'm just going to pop this into my folder of audio files. And then we'll head back to our session. And all I'm going to do here is import see, here's a perfect example. See, my key commands don't work right now because I'm out of the app. So I'm going to hit my button like that. Magic. It's just so cool. Oops. This is one of the dangers of using so many screens is I can get lost when I'm trying to stream. But this is what I'm hoping this will help keep everything organized and looking good. All right, so here's my campfire. Come on. No freezing allowed. There we go. I think I was auto-saving. All right, cool. So in my session, right here's my campfire sound effect. It was changing the sample rate, I'm sure, to match. I'll put it right there. Let's see what it sounds like. Cool. Now let's edit it a little bit. Over here. Let's do an EQ. First of all, let's see what's actually happening with the analyzer. Try to take away any unwanted frequencies. So those poppy noises are a little annoying. Good way to find them is to boost where you think you need to take away. It's right about there. That's an annoying spot. That's where all the crackles are. And we'll shape it up like that. And we'll also get rid of some of this snap, crackle, pop nonsense. Let's also do a very light reverb send. Just give some more ambience. And because there's also a little bit of dynamic change, I'm going to put a compressor at the top of the chain just to keep it all pretty consistent in its volume so that there's not many like sudden pops. And I'm also going to create a loop out of this. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So I'm going to copy this, pop it in right, oops, and then pop it over. Why isn't it copying? Yuck. All right. I'll do probably one more of these just to finish out the track. Like that. And the goal here is just to very quickly go through and do little crossfades between them. It doesn't even have to be identical since no one's listening for that. And we'll do the tiniest little fade out, fade in so that it's unique to this track. And then I always like to color code all things audio files blue. So we always know that's what that is. Let's hear it. It's still pretty extreme. There we go. Cool, now let's just turn it down. All right. Cool. All right, now I feel comfortable writing music on top of that, and it's going to be nice and relaxing. So back to this thing. Pops. Let's fix that. One of the key commands I'm going to add to my Stream Deck is opening up my audio interface settings. It's giving me some trouble, so let me just bump it to 1024 samples. I mean, it's a huge session, so I'm not surprised that with streaming going on, it's causing that, which just bumped my latency. Oh, still doing it. So that was not the issue. I really don't want to change this. I don't think that's what's killing it though. Alrighty. Back to 512. Anyway, guys. So that's one of the sounds I liked. It might be a little bit too video gamey. But one of the sounds you've already established within the soundtrack is the harp ensemble, which is all harp harmonics. neighborhood. So here's the little motif I came up with. I can't tell if that's that's the campfire or actual audio pops. Yuck. No fair. I finally had my session like ready to go. Let us... I don't want to screw with my audio. I just made a whole to-do about this, didn't I? Here's what I'll do. I know exactly what I should do, guys. I don't want to mess with my audio settings because that's not really a solution. Instead, I'm going to disable stuff that I know for sure is not going to be a big deal. So let's do show tracks with data. This is all I've even used so far. I'll do this. I'll just kind of manually take just a second to get rid of things that I know for sure. I will not be using today. That might be causing some issues. Yada. I'm not worried about any of the VEP stuff. It's the other guys. Yep. Darn. My CPU is at 100. Yuck. I just solved all this too. What's up, Paul? My only solution right now is to try to disable some stuff that I know for sure I won't be using. Specifically the instrument tracks. Just they're hogging all the resources at the moment. It just feels like a dimension in between. It's very fitting that I'm playing Chrono Cross right now, which is all about this concept of like dimensions between worlds. It doesn't necessarily sound dark, it just sounds otherworldly. And we can put some light stuff on top of it to help give it some color. Oh, why are we not playing? Uh-oh. It's just playing. It's my keyboard. Dang it, guys. One step forward, two steps back. Literally holding my USB plug as we speak. Ay. This has been the month of everything in my studio starting to die. It's very frustrating. Some of my items are hitting like the 15, 20-year-old point. There we go. So this MIDI controller is on its last leg. But I don't want to part with it. It's so good. There's a reason I've had it for so long. synth pad, a synth bass that I'm using. That I just want to have 2 strokes. It reminds me of like almost a grandfather clock. That's kind of the moment I'm feeling here. Now this also makes me feel like Earthbound. It's almost the vibe I'm going for. I bet you the audio pops are coming from this then. This guy. I bet you it's a buffer size thing. Let's try again. Do a couple tests. Oh, that's worse. Let me try something real quick because I don't want to kill the stream by any means. Let me restart Nuendo. Thankfully, it shouldn't take long because everything's loaded on VEP. So let me try my 2 buttons real quick, and I'll see what happens. I'll let you guys watch the chaos. We're going to go over here. You can watch me push the buttons. This is the kill DAW switch. There, it's done. And then coffee. Hopefully that solved it. That even took longer than I thought it would. Streaming just bogs down your system. With my next PC builds, I am definitely planning to use one computer for streaming and I'll use the old computer for streaming. And then I'll probably have a switcher or something that way I can just stay where I'm at. We'll see. I want to experiment with the dual PC setup. It's just ridiculous that it takes 40% of my CPU. But yeah, audio issues are gone. And you guys can hear that fine, so that's all it was. So strange. I think this is actually from Super Mario Sunshine, the little Those little bonus levels. Yay, things sound nice now. Okay, there's a fluke. Gosh, I love that pad. Let me EQ it though. It's a little... All right, I'm just recording in. Are you kidding me? I played all the notes. Didn't record any of them? That's dumb. So let's do this. I want to do 2 more of these. That's just so relaxing. I don't want to lose that moment. Let's do 2 of those bad boys. Like that. And then we'll just keep that harp going. It's just so relaxing. I don't want to do it the whole track, but I do think even just that repetition... Let me copy the whole thing like this. My copy paste functions are just maybe because I'm not on the track. There it goes. Weird. I didn't know I had to do that. Okay. Back in business. Turn it down. Please tell me that recorded. Oh my God, what is going on? It's my USB of my keyboard. Why would it play but not record? That doesn't make any sense to me. I wonder. Let me check my once it loads. Jeez. Darn streaming. Okay. I've been like literally writing so much music this week with 0 issues. As soon as I stream, everything stops working. Let me go to... See? It's like freezing. Ah! Trying, guys. I appreciate you guys being so patient with me, but that should not be this hard to do basic things. Okay, MIDI port. I bet you there's a MIDI port screw up here. Let's turn those off. Or let's do that. I think my ports are fighting each other. That's really weird. See, now it works. Okay, one more pass. we go, on the E. Down to the 2. To the E. Alright, so I like this voices pad, but it also has like some like shrieking in it that I love. Alright. I'd like to extend this by 2 bars. It's quite nice. Just like that. In general, just turn this way down, just kind of for atmosphere. Let's keep rolling. No! Why is the DAW out of sync? How about now? Oh, that would make sense because the MIDI, yeah. Jeez. Alright, I think we're not going to use that patch. It's fun. Another one I was trying was this 12-string guitar used in Wario Land 4. Now that really makes me think of Eastward, if you guys have played that game. It's an indie game. Trying to keep this out of any kind of minor territory. So I'm using major 7th chords, which is a major on top of a major chord. In this case, it's a C major on top of a F chord. C9. It's a pretty tonality. That one sounds like a hammered dulcimer. Filter it up a bit. Let's do a stereo delay. I'm also going to just call this 12-string guitar. So stereo delay, my favorite thing to do is to put it in probably a quarter or an eighth note delay. Or let's try ping pong. I've been playing around with that more lately. That way it goes back and forth between left and right speakers. It's a little more interesting. Now the reverb. It's more of a synth than anything. I was a little bit too busy, but I like that idea of these little... Yeah, immediately. Let's do some markers here. Man, I really want to set up a new marker. Maybe we can do that together. Would that be ridiculous? Yes, that would be. Maybe I'll set it up later, but look at me having internal dialogue over here. I would love to create a button over here where I just and it adds a marker. It sounds so simple, but so helpful because I hate trying to remember all the key commands for things. And there's different markers for each marker lane or marker track. So that'd be nice to have a separate one for each and just put them all in. Anywho, so this is my intro. Let intro, and then over here, this is going to be the A. No, I did it again, guys. What? It's like retrospective is not working. Let me go to transport. Weird. MIDI retrospective recording, insert. What the heck? Weird. It just seems to be... It's not inputting my notes. Oh, that's so annoying. I'll have to fix that later. Ah! So here, I'll start doing it. Try. Here we go. So these are triplets, triplet eighths. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Oh, they're off. Here we go. And also, I want to add more, whatchamacallit, some delay. Let's go back over there. Maybe 16th notes is the way to go. No, I was right. They're 16th triplets. Dang it. There we go. That's nice. Oh, I like that a lot. It's a bell. And then I'll do the 5-1. I'll do 2 more. Now with this, the voice is to go no, no, and all of these are late. They need to be quarter notes. No. E. Then we can do a B section. This is going to be a 2-minute loop, by the way, but man, we're already kicking booty with time because it's just so relaxing. And then we'll do something with a slightly different tonality. Cool sound. I use that so much in the soundtrack. It's so fun. What? Now it works. That's lame. Let's record something in here. I'll put click on in my ears. This B section. That's nice. Keep this pad going. Might do that twice, to be determined. It's quite nice. It is double the pace, so I don't know if that's good or bad yet. Double the metric timing of the A section, so I don't know if that makes it a little bit too happy and like jovial, like a town theme. I'm not trying to do that because we're coming out of this. Might be good to do like a clarinet here. Here we go. Nice. Perfect loop. Nice. That worked out really well. That was not planned. That's funny, Paul. Hey, by all means, once it's all released. natural as possible, but also semi-quantized. Otherwise, they're just kind of super weird sounding. Let me do that one more time. Because I'm rewinding. I get some Celesta in there. Need to keep this minimalistic, which is tough because I love to overwrite. But I really like that, the simplicity. Finish out this part. Sometimes you just gotta write simple tracks, and that's the main reason I set less time for our stream today, because I just don't need as much time to write a track of this kind. It's not as demanding as like a battle track, but it still has to be very intentional. Yum pum pum ba dum bum 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 bum. Same thing. Yum bum bum ba dum bum bum. Just hold the F. Maybe we shouldn't even do the dark yet. Let's do that. In fact, I'm going to move everything over. this way. Yay, that actually worked out really nicely. So the 2 bars are just going to be an intro. And then we'll add the bass in the second half right there. That way it'll be a nice loop point. It's just one thing. And now 3 things. It adds more arrangement. All right, I want the choir pad to follow the melody a little bit closer. So we'll start moving these down. Like that. Andre. I like the simplicity of this. The only thing to add maybe would be some falsetto strings like this, or harmonic strings. Let's try that. Uh-oh. Getting a no signal. Let's make sure it's actually connected. Oh, that's why. That'll do it. Okie dokie. How about now? And then we'll pop that whole instance into, I'll show you over here. I'll pop, just do a send of that entire Lo Egria instance. That's going to be gorgeous. All right, let's put that in. Here we go. Sure, maybe just the beginning. Maybe here. Oof. That's nice. Here we go. How is this Kingdom Hearts? What about it makes you feel like Kingdom Hearts? I mean, I'll take it. Instances got unplugged here, so let me go back to, there we go. Let me save my project just in case. Oh, I know what happened. Duh. My yeah, when I force quit Nuendo, but I left my VEP, so now all of my instances are, they need to be replugged in. My bad. Let me do that real quick, just so peace of mind for later. That not everything is unplugged. This might be fun to do some Tokyo scoring strings. I don't know if it calls for it, but it might be a nice little treat. All right, here's Metropolis Arc. Pardon me while I stand up for a moment so I can see this. All right, cage strings, good. Regria, good. Taggieto should be good now. This might also be a really good spot for euphoniums. All right, so that's Tom Horkenberg brass connected. New Century brass connected. And then all my woodwind ensembles. Connect. Cool. And then down here, let's open up the euphoniums. Are they connected? Oh, that's a perfect instrument choice for this moment. Specifically the B section. That's going to be nice. Just fits. It's like the soft orchestra instead of the loud orchestra. That sounds so real. Hopefully that freaking recorded. Okay, good. About to be so sad if that didn't record. There we go. There it is. In all of its mod wheel glory. Oh man, that's just relaxing. That's the point, right? And it, while it might be slightly repetitive, it actually solves the problem. It's cyclical. It's circular. And I love harmonies like that just, you know, they go back and forth like that. So for anyone who wants to know some chords, it's an F, G, A minor 7, which is that, and then E minor. So 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, which has a very circular nature to it. And it can repeat, and then all of a sudden goes back to the home, which is not even home, it's just a F major 7. Cool. I like that a lot. It's a nice warm color, and I love that synth bass bell. Like the choir doing its thing. So let me minimize some things. It's one of my new favorite functions within Cubase or Nuendo is show tracks with data between the locators. I'm going to make a thing for that. I'm going to make a button for that. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, so I can remember for later, there's several functions I want on my Stream Deck. One of them is step input. The other is set step input locator. What we mentioned earlier, it was the markers. So insert marker button. And now I want to make a button for show tracks with data between locators. That's going to be really helpful because all I have to do is click a button and then boom, it minimizes my entire template to the specific track that I'm working on. So cool, man. So cool. Let's see if we can 8-bitify that campfire at all. Let me do a bit crusher. Over here, let's solo that. There it is. Let's do 16-bit. Just for kicks and giggles, let's also grab another game that's coming to mind is Hyperlight Drifter. So give you a sec. I'm going to use my OBS powers to do something fun. I'm going to add something. It's kind of relaxing just listening to this, huh? There it is. You guys see it now? Just chilling. It's kind of the aesthetic of our game. This is like one of those YouTube videos. It's like 12 hours of looped music of this. It's really effective. Micah, where are my TSS strings at, yo? Oh, you don't like my bonfire? I like it. It's very chiptune-y. This thing is still behind. Let's put it at 100. It's so behind. Let's do 200. All right, I'm going to put it at 0, and then I'm going to save. whatever you call it, bounce in place. It's going to take a little bit because it has so many effects on it. But once that is bounced in place, I will just use the audio instead. I've done that quite a bit. That's Micah. Yeah, TSS can get out of hand really quick. It's such a bold, strong legato sound that it's not always the best. We'll see. But yep, over here yawning, sorry. Over here, let me open up a couple things. So you've already done. There we go. Dark lead, era, bip, bounce in place. So I can get rid of that. So for this guy, we're just gonna get him all situated. See how late he is on everything. So we're just going to slide him forward. So it feels like it's really filling. My old man eyes need this. So when I click and solo it, I can really hear it when it comes in. Mostly down here. That feels good. Ah, dang it. That's what I get. Yep. Thank you, Matt. This thing screws up as soon as you bounce in place. It's funny because I don't hear it. Only you guys hear it because it's the, latency from the stream. Look at this harp. Autosave. I promise this new setup works better than you're experiencing right now. Just imagine this minus 40 CPU, 40%, and that's why things work so well without streaming, but whatever. I'll work towards that in a few months. I love this. It's fun. Feels like it needs that 12 string back at this spot. Really, I'll just call this a synth dulcimer. Cleaning up some notes here. like this a lot. Just changing the ping pong delay from 16th to 8th note. Give a little bit more bounce. Thanks, friends. Thanks a bunch. I'm really happy with this. I know what feels off here is it's missing the voices. Which helps to give that kind of airiness. Yep, that's how you gotta get in there. Nice. Well, I hope you guys like this tune, because those of you who play the game will be hearing this for many hours. So it needs to sound like a cycle. It needs to sound like, it needs to work. And perhaps, like Darren Korb in Hades, we might do some Fmod programming or something like that, where we come up with a layer system. Because I'd love for this to work. Maybe this is another cool thing I could do with the Stream Deck, is I could assign every channel to a solo or a mute button, and that way I can just go and just mute all the tracks I need pretty easily and solo them. That would be kind of cool. So here are all the tracks. So this is the key command I want to add. It's that one, and it's going to reduce everything to this. So let's just say that for right now, everything's muted, and one thing at a time, we'll just add some layers and maybe just test it out, see how it works. And we're going to wrap it up here because I'm happy with this. And I hope you guys had a fun time for the last 2 hours. I wanted to finish right at 3, so this is perfect timing. So let me play out, and we'll just play around with the layers and call it a day. So thanks, guys, for being a part. I'll see you next week. Let's figure out how to do this. Here we go.